one of the things I wanted to do this weekend is cut up some more cucumbers for my bread and butter veggies. I've been eating out all the cucumbers, and now pretty much all that's left is onions and peppers. So I cut off the tips of my cucumbers here. And then I'm just cutting them. I've already done 2, but I got more to go. And golly, Terry Toodaloo. I cut off the tip of my glove here. But that's fair. These gloves are definitely longer than my fingers. And these aren't as good as the blue ones, but these are just the ones I bought at, I don't know, sometime in the past I thought I needed these instead of the others. Lesson learned, Terry. Terry of the future. Don't buy the clear gloves. Anyway, so I'll finish cleaning these up and filling up my vegetable jug. Next on the chopping block is a rutabaga. So I'm going to get it peeled and cut up. I'll show you how I'm going to cut it up in just a second. Check it out. I swear to you, I've tried this before. I really have with rutabaga. I've really tried doing this before, and it never worked, which is why I've always had to work so hard to peel. But for some reason, today, my peeler is working. Like I said, I don't know why. It's messy, but I can deal with messy. But yeah, it worked last time with the jicama. So I don't know if they're putting the wax a little, if it's not as thick since it's maybe seasoned for these things. I have no idea. But anyway, so yeah, I thought to myself, I'm like, well, let's give it a try and see what happens. And lo and behold, it's working. So yeah, this is why people who I guess get these from their stores, and they're, you know, if they're not super waxy, it's not a big deal to peel them. Now we know. So just peel it however you can peel it. If you can peel it this way, or if you have to do the other way, like with the knife. But yeah, looky here. That's pretty cool. Okay, let me finish this up. The part that I do need a knife for are the flat ends. It doesn't seem like it gets those very well, which is fine, because hey, we just did a lot with that little dealie, with our shaver. And then if there's any pieces that are like kind of kind of dipped in, you can't get those. Oh, there's a little spot I missed. But looky there, we just done that. Look at ourselves. All right, I'm gonna cut this up a little bit and then I'll show you the rest. I have never used a hand grater, but I would like to make some, at breakfast this morning, I'd like to make like a hash brown like I've done in the past. Now, except whenever I've shredded it before, I used the, the electric one. But this time I'm going to use, I'm not doing a bunch of it, but just enough that I could do a big, like one today and tomorrow. So I'll do basically half of this piece right here. I just really didn't want to get out the whole food processor and make a big mess of it. If I could just try this. Like I said, I've never done it this way before. So let's see. Maybe a little bit more here. I tried the little side, but that didn't go so good. So I'm using the big grater side. This is an absolute first for me. I've never done this before. Yeah, that's good. So, yep, so in the morning, well, this is morning. Whenever I make breakfast later, I can use half of this, and then I'll use the other half tomorrow for my breakfast. So that'll be kind of fun. I'll just mix in an egg and form it into a patty. And so that's one way we're doing our rutabaga. Something I've learned is that when you leave your rutabaga sit out overnight, it definitely seems to cut up better. So like I've had a really good luck cutting this. And cutting it in half, I did not have to break out my hammer. So I bought this. What day did I buy this? I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. I went after work and got it. And anyway, so it's been sitting out on my counter since then. Some stores, like one store I've been to, they keep it in the refrigerator section. Another Walmart store keeps it in the just out on the shelf section. So I find that interesting. So maybe it depends on how fresh it is. I don't know. I can't even guess. But so now I'm cutting those up into big thick slices because these are going to be the ones that I'll use for my salads. So I'm going to go on and chop these up in here. This is loud, so yeah. So I'm going to go on and do that. I'm not going to make you watch that. But I'm going to chop up the rest of these into cubes. So I've got this much that's going to be for salads. This much that's going to be for my breakfast hash brown. And then this I'm just going to parboil. I can use it for various things. So if I just go on and get it parboiled. And then in preparation for something I'm going to make later, I've got another set of rutabaga that I'm going to boil too. So this little one in the front, this is for some green beans that I'm making because I'm doing kind of like the old-fashioned green beans and potatoes. I'm going to make that up, and so instead of potatoes, I'll use rutabaga. And then this is the one that I, just want to boil so that way I can mash it up or whatever else I want to do with it. So I'm going to get both of these boiling, and yeah. Time to move on to the next thing. I'm ready for the onions. So what if you all had mentioned, or maybe a couple of you all, you know me, I can't remember what. I don't even remember my name half the time. But you all had mentioned that if I put these in the refrigerator, well, what I'm going to do, before I cut them, refrigerate them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the outer skin off, I'm going to rinse them, and then I'm going to put them in the refrigerator. So I just wanted to show you this part. This part first. So I'm going to pull this outer shell skin off of, and I'll just toss them into, stick them into here, and I'll put them in the refrigerator for a while and see if that helps. I don't know. I'm willing to try it all. I've tried a candle. I've tried a toothpick between my teeth. I've tried a fan blower this way. I tried a fan blower this way. I've had everything. But I think when somebody's allergic to onions or have issues with onions, they just got issues with onions. But I could be wrong. Maybe there is something out there that's going to work for me. In the meantime, I'm going to get all this skin off and then rinse them off and put them in here. So I'll be back. I have even considered that maybe since I have such issues with cutting onions, maybe I shouldn't eat onions. However, I'm not going to go through with that because I like onions, so I don't care if I have issues cutting them. I'm going to suffer through. All right, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator till later. I have these turned off. I've drained the liquid out. I can kind of poke it with a fork. I'm not trying to make anything mashed. I just want to parboil them so I could do something maybe like in the air fryer later or something. So now I'm going to drain them and put them in a container. So I put on these parboiled baga. So that way I can pop them in the freezer and I'll know what it is I'm grabbing out. Well, whenever I pull them out to eat for the day, I'll be able to see that that's what it is. So I won't take these to work. This is something I keep for the evening time and use in the air fryer or boil all the way to make some kind of mashed baga. These are the store-bought chopped onions that you buy. And for me, they're always a little wet. So I've got them laying out here on this paper plate just to absorb some of the water. And then later, when I feel like they're better, then I'll put them in a container. But it's just that moisture seems to make things like go bad a little faster. So I'm just going to have these kind of chilling out off to the side till they dry out more. And getting ready for my salads this week. Mom brought this home and from church. And this is a yellow squash. I like yellow squash raw. So I'm going to cut this up and I'm going to put this in my salads. I won't put it in my salads on the day I make it because this is a wet vegetable. But I'm going to put this in my salads like the night before, kind of like I do my my cucumbers. Okay, so that's how those look. And like I said, I'll put these on my salad because I like raw squash. So I'll put a clear lid on it so I know what's in my refrigerator. The last part of my meal prep is peppers. This is how I do my peppers. I push in the green just right along that outer edge where it connects to the pepper. See how it falls? It just pushes in like that. Then you pull it apart. I do have a video that's a short video showing how I do it from a different angle. And I tap out the seeds. Pull this piece out. And I throw that part away. Try it again. Push in. Pull out. And there you go. You got a clean pepper. Last one. Push in. Sometimes if they're not super fresh, it's a little difficult because the it's the meat of it is a little bit softer, if that's the only way I can describe it. And tap it out. Pull out the seeds. And there you go. So now you got all the seeds on your plate. There might be a couple hanging around, but that's all right. Now you're ready to slice it however you want to. I like my pepper on my salads, so I like them kind of chunky because I like them big. I like them chunky. But anyway, so now you just do what you want to with your pepper. Now I'm going to cut this up and I'll be back. Guess what time it is? I'm keeping this on, and so that's just how it's going to be. Now let's cut up these onions. Cut off the bottom just to make it even so it can settle there. We're going to cut up some yellow onions. Oh, whatever, red. I guess this is white. I don't know if it's, I know it's not yellow, but whatever it is, we're going to cut it up. I don't need it to be little pieces. I mean, small pieces, but not little, because this is going to go on my salads. So I'm just going to cut it. And cut it and scoop it in. This could be used for so many things. I could use this with my eggs in the morning. I could use this with my green beans. You could use, I'm going to use it on my salad. I know that much. So cut through there. Cut, cut, cut. Alright, we just have one more little spot to go. One more little circle of this yellow white onion. I thought I bought a yellow onion. I don't know. I think they all look the same on the inside. Well, except for the red ones. And my eyes are definitely feeling the pain of this situation. You sit over there for a minute. I think some of us are just destined to have issues cutting onions. But we just do it every Saturday, and maybe someday I won't have issues. But it don't matter. I'm still going to eat my onion. You know that much. It's worth every ounce of pain. So, alright, I'm going to cut this one up with the other red one, and I'll be back with you. So I had an idea about how I'm going to do this. So again, this is the yellow squash, and this is the peppers. I will not put these on today. I don't want them to soften up and get bad like the jicama did. So I'm going to add the things that are kind of dry. So I'm going to do it in this big bowl and see what my thoughts are about it. I'm just going to do just the cabbage. Oh, and then this is also my the Debbie, the bread and butter pickled veggies. If you want to see how I made these, I've got a video. Just do Terri Leist bread and butter, Terri Leist bread, whatever. Just do a search. Anything you see me make, do a search. I've done it before. So, but I've got a video of this on my channel, so you can see how I made these. And so these things I'll put on the night before. So I always add rutabaga, and I'm out of jicama, so I'm going to use more rutabaga than I typically use. And I always add onions. So what I'm going to do is make the salad in this bowl for right now and see how this works, see what I think of it, and then divide this up into 5 containers. These are the main things that I put in my salad. If you use other things, for sure, you just put whatever you want in your salad. I'm just doing this to kind of get it mixed up a little better. And as you all know, when I make it up individually, I tend to just get so excited I put too much in the container. So I'm trying this to see if this helps with that issue. So let's set these out. I'm going to get a glove so I don't get oniony on my hands. By the way, I did not cut myself. That is a hangnail that I chewed off. I'm one of those people. I chew on my nails. I chew on a hangnail. So I'm going to put about 2 handfuls of veggies. Let's see if that's enough. Sometimes you just got to start somewhere. So I'll start with the 2 handfuls and see where it takes me. I got to make sure not to drop any of this because there are onions in it and we don't want to get the dog sick. Put a little more rutabaga on these in, a little more rutabaga on this end. Let's see. We want them to be kind of even-ish. Probably could have made another salad, a 6th salad, but it'll probably settle over as it, I'm going to assume that it's going to settle throughout the week. So now, just like you all taught me, we're going to put 1 paper towel at the top of each one. I just kind of tuck that in, tuck that towel in. That really worked because whenever I opened them, they were damp. And then flip them over just like you all taught me. See, I tell you all, things like this is why I love my comment section. I tell you all the time, the favorite thing about this channel, the favorite thing about this whole YouTube thing is the comment section. You all have taught me so much. Yeah, I'm demonstrating how I'm losing weight, and that's all hunky-dory. But you all down in the comment section have taught me so much about, well, life in general. And I mean, like one of you all, you know, I went out and I bought a cover for my fire pit thing. And you all said, put a paper towel on the top and flip it upside down. Then you don't have to try to pull it out from underneath. Well, duh, that's genius. So now these will sit in my refrigerator just waiting on me to pull them out starting tomorrow night, a Sunday night, whenever I get my stuff ready for work. So brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. But that's why I thank you all, and that's why I love you guys so much, because you all share so much with me, and I really, truly appreciate you all. Every single one of you all mean the world to me. Okay, I'm going to put these in the refrigerator. For those who are, this is your very first video, I figure I better tell you what I do the evening before I go to work. I take the lid off, I pull the paper towel off, I add some various seasonings to it, and then I add things like the bread and butter pickles, the peppers, the yellow squash. I add those things to it, and then I put on my dressing. I did not, as you saw, I did not weigh out my veggies. You could very easily set this on a scale, and as you add things, write it down, however much of what you add. Then you can divide it by 5, and you can know exactly what is inside your salads. I don't weigh the veggies, but I do weigh my dressing just to keep me in check on, how that's going. So I just want to let you know, because if you're just here seeing this meal prep and you don't see the future and how I use it, that's what I do the evening before. I add seasoning and wet veggies and dressing, then I take it to work with me the next day. You all know I love my container here, so every now and then I have to refill it. So you see me use Greek seasoning a lot. This is the one I use, Cavender's all-purpose Greek seasoning. So I'm going to top this off. Okay. What else do we have? This is my adobo seasoning. This is what it is, Lawry's adobo seasoning. And I ain't got time for that. Okay, so that's my adobo seasoning that I use. The center, you hear me say total seasoning. This is Lawry's total seasoning. Put that right in the middle. We also have to fill our everything bagel seasoning. Editing Terri, add more everything bagel seasoning to your shopping list. We have this is sweet Spanish paprika. Really doesn't matter, just any kind of paprika. Okay. And we have our roasted garlic. That's from TJ Maxx. These two are from TJ Maxx. And then back here, I'm not going to add any more. This is that spicy Dano's. I'm out of it anyway, so I'll just use it till it runs out. And there we go. You got to top off all your little containers every now and then. So I make 6 cups of coffee, and my coffee consists of my chocolate electrolytes. The link to this is in the description. I use electrolytes. Doesn't mean you need to use electrolytes. I do because it makes me feel good. And you're welcome to go out and buy the other kind. There's all kinds of recipes for them out there. I think Element even has their recipe online. You can see their recipe. But I like mine, and it makes me feel good, and it tastes good. So this is how I make my chocolate electrolytes. So when coffee is done, we'll get it poured into these containers. Then, after it cools down to my preference, I go on and fill these up part way. And one of these 12, not ounces, but 12 cups fills 3. So one of these little, I don't know, do you say a pitcher of coffee? Pot? I guess it's a pot. One pot of coffee makes 3 servings for me. So I use 3 scoops of my coffee. So it's basically 1 scoop per cup, or per serving for me. And then on the day, the day I drink it, I add some of the brand is that Torani sugar-free syrup and some water, and I top it off. So now I'm going to make the other 3. Okay, there's my coffees. Now I'll just put them in the refrigerator. And the morning of, I went ahead and added the water. So the morning of, I will add these. I use protein powder 1 day a week, and that is on Sundays, and that's because I eat lunch a lot later than usual, so it helps me through church and waiting on Mom to get out of her church, so I don't eat too much. So on Sundays I drink about half of it at home, and then I add a scoop of protein powder and some more water, and I sip on that through church and until I get to Mom's house. So there we go. That is my coffees, chocolate electrolytes, and coffee.